You know, you've probably been here before. You walk into the local garden center, you grab that heavy bag of fertilizer, the one that sets you back $40, maybe even more. You haul it all the way home, you spread it out exactly the way the instructions tell you to, and then you wait. A couple of weeks go by and really nothing happens. I mean, sure, maybe you get a little flash of green here and there, but overall, it's just patchy, it's uneven.
And that one stubborn strip near the sidewalk, it still looks the exact same as it did before you spent a single dime. So what do we usually do? We head right back to the store. But this time, you buy the more expensive bag, $60. You know, the one with a picture of a pristine, perfect golf course right on the front? You spread that one out too, and the result? It's almost identical to the very first time. Well, here's the thought I want you to sit with for just a second. Your lawn probably doesn't have a nutrient problem at all. It actually has something else entirely. Something so simple that once I show it to you in this explainer, you might actually feel a little annoyed that nobody told you about it sooner.
Section 1, the fertilizer frustration and what grass actually needs. For decades now, the lawn care industry has essentially trained all of us to focus on one thing and one thing only: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Those are the big three numbers stamped across every single bag of fertilizer you buy. Nutrients, nutrients, nutrients. We're constantly told that if our grass looks bad, it must just be starving.
But what does grass actually need to grow? Well, here is what almost nobody says out loud. Your soil probably already has all those nutrients sitting right there inside it. Most yards do. The nitrogen is there, the phosphorus is sitting right there. It's just completely unused by the grass. So logically, if the food is already in the dirt, why isn't your grass eating any of it?
That brings us to Section 2, the locked pantry door and understanding soil pH. It really all comes down to one number that nobody talks about. I want you to picture your soil as a locked pantry. Everything your grass needs to thrive is sitting right there on the shelf inside. The nitrogen, the iron, the calcium, the whole shebang. But the door is locked. And without the right key, no amount of fertilizer piled up outside that pantry door is going to do a single thing.
That key is your soil pH. But you might be wondering, what actually locks the door in the first place? Well, it's something as ordinary as rain. Every single time it rains, the water slowly pulls calcium and magnesium right out of your topsoil and carries it down deep, totally out of reach of the grass roots. Over the years, this quietly drags your soil more and more acidic. It's not something you did wrong, it's just what rain does over time, especially if you get a decent amount of it, or if you have pine trees or oak trees dropping needles and leaves nearby. That pushes the soil acidity even further down, and eventually that pantry door just slams shut.
Underground, the difference is pretty stark. In acidic soil, the food is right there, but the grass simply cannot reach it. It's literally like setting a full plate of food in front of someone who has their hands tied behind their back. But when your soil sits in the ideal balanced range, which is roughly 6.2 to 7.0, that pantry door swings wide open and your grass can finally eat freely.
Section 3, the $2 key to unlocking your lawn. If any of this is sounding familiar, there's a very real chance your soil pH has been sliding down for years without you even noticing. But the good news here is that we can absolutely fix it, and we can do it without needing a massive budget.
The fix for this locked door is going to cost you about $2. And the absolute best part? It's probably sitting right inside your kitchen cabinet as we speak.
So here is the crucial point. The fix is baking soda. Good old sodium bicarbonate. It's the exact same box you might have sitting in your fridge right now to absorb odors, or the same box you might use to scrub out your kitchen sink. A fresh box costs about $1.50, maybe $2, and it's going to do something for your lawn that no expensive bag of fertilizer ever could. Because it's not adding food. It is unlocking the pantry door that was already completely full. But hey, before you run straight to the kitchen, I need you to slow down with me for just a minute. Because exactly how you apply this matters a whole lot more than what it is.
Section 4. Rules for the fix and the exact method you need to use. Please take your time with this part. If you need to grab a pen and write these specifics down, go right ahead. I'll wait a second. Okay, rule number 1. Test your soil first. This is the step almost everyone skips, and it entirely determines whether this is going to work beautifully or backfire completely. Go pick up a basic soil pH test kit. They run about $4 at pretty much any garden center. Just stick the probe in the ground, wait a minute, and read the number. If you're below a 6.0, baking soda is going to help you out a lot. If you're between 6.0 and 6.5, it'll help a little bit. But if your soil is already above a 7.0, stop right there. Do not apply this. Pushing soil that is already neutral or alkaline even higher creates an entirely different set of problems. Rule number 2, the ratio. You want to mix exactly 1 tablespoon of baking soda and dissolve it completely into 1 gallon of water. That's the whole formula. Apply it evenly using a pump sprayer or just a regular watering can. 1 gallon is going to cover roughly 25 square feet of lawn. Do this once every 2 weeks, not every week, definitely not every day, just once every 2 weeks. Rule number 3, timing matters. Never, ever apply this to dry, sun-baked soil in the middle of a hot afternoon. You want to apply it early in the morning before the sun is really up, or in the evening, and be sure to lightly water the lawn first so the soil is nice and damp. That way the solution sinks straight down into the root zone where it belongs.
Section 5. The 4-week timeline and what to expect. Keep in mind, this is a slow, gentle correction. It's not a sudden shock treatment for your lawn. So we really need to manage our expectations here.
If you follow those 3 rules to the letter, here is roughly how it's going to unfold. Days 1 through 7, visually, you're going to see absolutely nothing, and that's perfectly normal. The correction is happening out of sight, underground. Around day 10, the color will start to shift. It's going to be subtle, but it's there. By day 14, it becomes unmistakable. A deeper, richer green is going to replace that tired, washed-out tone you've been looking at. And by week 4, the grass is going to start naturally thickening up on its own. Let me tell you about a patch in my own backyard that was an absolute embarrassment for 2 straight years. It was thin, it was brown, and it was half covered in moss. And moss, by the way, is one of the absolute clearest signs of acidic soil there is. I finally tested it, and it was a 5.4. Brutal. Grass survives on little more than water and sunlight at that level. Now, I had fertilized that exact patch for 2 years with no luck. Then, I tried this exact baking soda method. By week 4, the moss was mostly gone and the grass was noticeably thicker. By week 8, after just 4 applications, the patch was totally unrecognizable. I retested the soil and it was a 6.3, right smack in the target range.
To put that into perspective, over 2 years, I had spent roughly $240 feeding soil that couldn't even pass any of those nutrients along to the grass. The total cost to actually fix the root cause? About $2 in baking soda and a $4 reusable pH test kit. $6 accomplished what $240 in fertilizer never even touched.
Section 6. Warnings and the catch, or what you need to know before you start. Before we wrap this explainer up, I do need to share a few critical warnings. I want to make absolutely sure you get this right, because protecting your soil over the long term is what truly matters here.
First off, if you have Bermuda grass and you live in a warmer southern climate, your soil might already sit closer to neutral. So again, test it first, always. Second, do not overapply this mixture. Baking soda is sodium-based, and having too much sodium build up over time can severely affect your soil structure and its ability to drain. That is exactly why the 1 tablespoon ratio and the strict 2-week spacing are so incredibly important. Please don't triple the dose thinking it's going to work faster. It won't, and it will actually just work against you. Finally, keep in mind that this method tends to show its most dramatic results on cool season grasses like Kentucky bluegrass, tall fescue, and ryegrass. That's simply because they're a lot more sensitive to acidic soil in the first place. Warm season grasses definitely still benefit, it just might be a little bit less dramatic visually.
That stubborn patch of lawn that's been bothering you all season long, it's really not a lost cause. And it's definitely not a nutrient problem that you need to keep throwing your hard-earned money at. More often than not, it's just one locked door. And the $2 key to open it is sitting in your kitchen right now. If this explainer actually helped you understand your own yard just a little bit better, please go ahead and subscribe. Every analysis we do here is about breaking down real, practical problems using the actual science behind them. There are no sponsored products here, and we're never going to push you toward buying another expensive bag of anything next season. So I want to ask you honestly, how much money have you spent on fertilizer over the last few years without ever testing your soil first? Drop your number in the comments below. I have a feeling a lot of us share a very similar story.